Well, we've got a selection of 8-inch tiles to biscuit fire. So these have been made and decorated, and these are relief tiles here. So basically a bit like this one. That is that tile there. But this one has been biscuit fired without it being decorated. That's because a lot of the tiles we make, we just, in the glaze firing, we add a translucent glaze over the top of this with the addition of colouring oxide mixed into the glaze. And we've got a few different colours there that to work with, and these here, when we're painting them, are a lot more work. And these here are 8-inch plain tiles that have been hand painted. I mean, these have been hand painted as well, but they're hand painted over the relief decoration. Can't really see the relief decoration there. You can see it when it's glazed, okay. So I've got to load these into the bisque firing. Now, these are greenware, and I wanted to show you those because a client brought in some damaged tiles he had at home, and he wanted us to make some tiles to replace the ones that got damaged. And so we've done that, and there are only two colours involved. I think one is white, and the other is very similar to our iron oxide translucent glaze. Practically a perfect match. So it's not a difficult thing for us to do on this occasion. Normally, it isn't the kind of work that we'd necessarily be able to do, because it would take a long time to colour match and test fire and come up with something that somebody else had made, particularly when we have no idea who made it and what oxide or colouring they've used to produce it. And as a rule, I think we probably wouldn't be able to find out. Now, I'm just showing you this because this one here and that one there were made at the same time. This one's a tiny bit smaller, and it's dried out completely, whereas these, being a little more grey, a bit darker in colour, you can see haven't actually dried out quite enough. I would be quite secure in firing that today, but I would not fire this for a day or two yet. These can't be that far behind because they've all been sitting on that bat in the same place for a while, and I think the reason this one's dried out quicker is because it's a little bit smaller. So I think this one won't be far behind it. These are all fine. They were all made some time ago, and they've been decorated over the last few days. There's some more over here. Again, these are part of the commission, and client wanted an owl, and we've actually done two, so they'll have a choice. The others can go in the shop, and we've just used up a few little 4-inch terracotta tiles with what looks like a white slip on them, and Charlotte has decorated them with guinea fowl. And this guinea fowl decoration is sponged on. They're quite fun, aren't they? And then she's outlined them by hand and so on. And anyway, they're useful kiln fillers, really. So we've started loading the kiln here, and we've got 3 shelves in it so far. Now, I just want to show you this because a few technical points. I've got 10 of these shelves for this kiln, plus the bottom one, which is a little bit heavier. And actually, I've got another 3 of those if I need heavier kiln shelves. So I have got a few more, but I won't need them for this firing because I've just got about actually the perfect number of tiles to put in here. So what we've done is we've used 3 of these props on each shelf, and there's 2 at the back and 1 at the front. Now, so every one is supported directly above the prop underneath it, and that's the same at the back and the same at the front. We don't vary the position of the props on the shelf so that the load is spread evenly all the way up through the kiln. And that's, you know, they're just the shelves there, so there's quite a lot of weight in the shelves alone. If you don't distribute the weight evenly, you may well crack a shelf. So always make sure that you distribute the weight evenly. And I find, I have said this, I know, on videos before, but I find that 3 props on a shelf is more stable than 4. With 4, you can get a rocker. And when you look at some of these props, here's an older one. It may well be, you know, have a little bit of, see here, it may well have a little bit of unevenness on it. So it actually might be pushing the shelf up a little bit, and then that shelf's going to wobble, and then everything on top of it is going to add to the unevenness of that particular shelf, and it may well crack. Now, that won't happen with 3. With 3, everything is much more even. Okay, that's an important thing to remember there. So there we are. I'm going to put some of these, a couple of these 4-inch ones will fit in there, and then I can carry on loading them up. Now, this is being a bisque firing. All of this is greenware, and that greenware is going to stop being greenware at about 600 Celsius. It's going to turn into pottery. That's the temperature at which the water is chemically driven off the clay. So in order to make pottery, you've got to go to at least 600 Celsius. It's going to give you a very porous biscuit ware at that temperature, but it will give you biscuit ware. Now, what we do is we take it very, very slowly up to that temperature. So we would go about 65 to 75 degrees Celsius every hour, up to about 620. So I know that I've covered the 600 throughout the volume of the kiln, because the kiln, as it's heating up, isn't necessarily going to be that even in temperature throughout it. You think it would be, but it won't be. And so that's why we take it slowly up to there. After that, we can go a bit faster, and I'd probably go 150, then up to 1,000 degrees, and then switch it off. Now, I don't need to soak it. That is to hold the temperature at the top of the fire. I don't need to do that in a biscuit firing. I do it in a glaze firing, very definitely, but not in a biscuit firing. It's not necessary. And another thing I just wanted to mention was you can fire tiles in these tile setters like this. And I don't do that actually, because I'm bisque firing 100 degrees lower than the glaze firing, whereas in an industrial pottery it might be the other way around. You'd be glazing or decorating probably at a lower temperature than you're actually firing the tile. Now, these tile setters here, are made specifically for industrial produced tiles, and so you could fire either your bisque tile or your glazed tile on those setters if you got an industrially produced tile. But this is a studio pottery, and I think we're given to a lot more warpage and so on, you know, than because of the way in which we fire, and so I don't think they're really suitable, and I steer clear of them. I thought we would be using industrially produced tiles at one stage and decorating them, but no. We haven't really had the call for it, and we quite like making the tiles the way that we do them, because they have a lot of character and individuality, and you just can't really get this anywhere else. And so, you know, I thought I'd mention that. You would obviously get a lot more tiles in the kiln space. Well, you should be able to, if you were using that. As you can see, you don't need a shelf for every tile. I'm not sure how many that holds. It looks like about 20, doesn't it, off the top of my head, but I can't really see. And I think they're about 6-inch, and that one there's for 8-inch tiles. And we probably could use the 8-inch one, but I don't know. I never have, and I think I've reserved judgment on that until I tried it out. I don't think I'm going to be honest. These are very high value articles because there's been so much time invested in decorating them in the first place. I just don't think I want to go down that route and risk you know, spoiling this work. Anyway, there we are. I'll come back to this when we've loaded up the kiln and we're glazing them, because I'd just like to show you how we do the glazing, and the loading's much the same. In fact, what I do to make the process easier is I take the kiln shelves out of the kiln and I stack them up on the side bench somewhere, and glaze them and put them back in the same order and in the same space, and that way, you know, I can check them all, and I know they're all going to fit. I won't have to do any calculations about running out of space or anything like that. It'll all go back in. As it was biscuit fired, it kind of saves a lot of time, so I'll show you that when we do it. All right, well, just a short one, and hope you found it useful, and I hope you'll like and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, but it does put the video out a little bit wider so more people catch it, and it's just technical information that we're keen to share, and we hope that you'll join us again.